It's that time again.
And welcome fans of flip clocks to this review of the GE Model 7-4410C. This is going to be a rather detailed video about how to take down and do some minor restoration of this clock radio. The clock's a very nice clock. It's held up well with age. You can tell it's an older clock because it's got the neon glow orange light on the numbers, the digits here. And I'm going to show you in detail how to take this down because sometimes when you get a hold of a clock you're not sure how to quite take it down. So we're going to go into detail how to do that. You want to pull the knob straight off. As you see here, there's a little two-part there. Sometimes these knobs are very hard to get off when they've never been taken off, and this one here is an example, but the one above it's the AM/FM selector. I actually had to cut the video here in a second because I had to really work that one. I almost was going to pry it, but eventually it did come loose. I didn't have to pry it. So once you get that off, you've got to turn the clock over, get all the cabinet screws out, and there are quite a few screws. We've got the main cabinet screws. There's 1, 2, one in the middle, 3, 4, 5, and the 2 in the front. 6 and 7 screws have to come out, and I go ahead and take these clock mechanism screws out too, the 4 there. Once you unscrew those screws, you just kind of turn your clock over. They'll drop out if you've got them all unscrewed. The cabinet you just lift straight up. I'm going to hold on to the cord to hold the base down a little bit, kind of work it up. If it has trouble coming off, you might have missed a screw, or it's just kind of stuck. So our speaker's attached to the main circuit board there. Here in a minute I'll take that off, but that's a pretty decent little speaker. It's a 45 ohm 0.8 watt speaker. Now to get this clock clean, if you really want it to look clean, you've got to get that face off, and I've got a trick for you to do that. It's difficult to get off. You've got 3 tabs on the top here, 1, 2 on the right as we're looking at it from the back, and the one on the far left here. The plastic for both the face and the cabinet here is very tough, and it doesn't give very much. So we're going to have to use this little tool here. It's got a razor blade, and the bevel on this blade turns out to be just perfect to pry this out. So on we've got tabs here. On the left we'll start with. We'll carefully place this in here about 1/8 of an inch, and then you tilt up. And you want to just kind of work it down. You don't want to get in a hurry. You don't want to scratch or crack that. Now you may hear a pop or two as these release. It might scare you. But there, as you tilt that forward and pull it straight up. There are 3 tabs on the bottom. You'll of course put that in reverse. You put the bottom in first, and it'll snap into place. Okay, this thing on the back here, that's a light, and it's just held in there with electric tape, but that's to light our dial here. So to take that off, if you ever need to replace that, you just basically peel the tape off. You'll see me tilt it down. It'll kind of snap free, and of course reverse to put it back in. And you'll see here that we have an orange neon glow lamp. Now that's our main circuit board. That is the clock motor on the back of the clock, and there's an electric rail. Now you've got to be very careful with this clock. It's all out in the open there. You could really get zapped. Now listen in. Now you hear the noise here. There's some background noise too, but that clock took a long time to start, so we're going to show you how to fix that. You want to take this motor and you want to put some alcohol in there and spin it around. A drop of oil after the alcohol's gone to hit that axle and spin that around, and you get this. Instantly takes off. There's no sound at all. You may hear some background noise, but it really does a good number on that. The main point to oil is that axle, and the rest doesn't need oil in it. Now, the clock is an older version, so you can see that it has a string to control the dial, which definitely shows its age, but it also makes it very difficult to work on. So we'll show you how to restring this, and you do have to follow these steps. You see that side on the right there, it's got a spring to it, and we're going to start with the one on the left. So you make sure the dial's turned all the way counterclockwise. There's a notch at the top. You see I kind of guided it in there. That'll hold that string. I go around the bottom. We're going kind of clockwise here. we're going to put this off to the side, and you really need to do this first before you start working with the other side. You tape this down, make sure the knob is turned to the left. Okay, so we take our string here. You want to catch inside the at the top notch there. You got to catch there. We're going to aim to the bottom lowest pulley there. Now we've got to go between these two here, like a floss. You've got to kind of get between there because you want the furthest to the front. That's where that goes. I'm going to show you some detail up here. You've got to go around this circuit board. You should take the screw out there, and you're going to have to, you'll see me slide it down between that post and that circuit board and then under that U-shaped object. And again, it's sort of like flossing. And trust me, this is the best way to do it. If you take that switch off, you're likely to never get it back on again that way. It's just easier to get it this way. Okay, so you go under this part here. We're aiming for that pulley over there on the far right. I'm trying not to take the tape, pull that off the tape on that post in the front there. We already put. We will here in a second. Okay, so we go and we're going to go into that top pulley there. We might as well take the tape off. Okay, now we'll go ahead and take on this farthest right pulley. This string goes around counterclockwise. Now, if you watch that spring, as I put some tension on there, that spring will rise up, and it's going to allow me to get on that last pulley. And then I reset it back to the front top like that, because that's going to be important here, because I'm going to show you how to get this dial back on here. You put that string and lip it over that middle tongue there. You get it lined up so that the dial is farthest to the right. You push the string up under those little posts there, and you want to push it back until it kind of snaps into place. And that's the position you want that to be in so that your radio stations come in, and we'll check. And I'm turning the knob there, and you can see it's working just fine. So some of the other things you want to do on this clock is you're going to want to clean this switch probably if it's not working well. That's what we worked on a minute ago to get the string around. This is it, the switch disassembled. And you clean that out. Same over here, this is the AM/FM selector. I found this was very greasy, but I was able to get that cleaned out by turning this up, putting some alcohol in there, flipping the switch around, a little bit of contact cleaner, and it ended up working great. And that's it, the GE Model 74410C.
When you get the time, come visit us at flipclockfans.com.